You are busy taking care of everyone and everything else, and all you want is just some free time for yourself. To sit down at the end of the day and do the things that you want to do. Well, we are going to make that happen. Let's go. Hi guys, it's Laura and let's get straight into it. I am about to save you 30 to 60 minutes this week. Now, obviously, if you want more time, you're going to have to take it from somewhere else. But the very first thing I want you to do is to actually identify what you are going to do with that free time and make it specific, because the more specific you can be, the more kind of married to that idea you will be. It will be less vague than just, oh, I'd like to find some free time maybe on the weekend. Get a good, clear vision. In fact, what you should do, pause this video right now, hop into the comments and tell me what exactly you want to do with this time that I'm about to free up for you. Do you want to take a bath, knit a hat, or read a book, go for a walk? How are you going to spend that time? Okay, let's go ahead and find it. Look at your schedule right now. I'm serious about this. We're doing this. Like, open up your planner, your diary, whatever it may be, your to-do list, and have a look. All of your meetings, appointments, errands, chores, tasks, all of those, look through them all, and then cut something. Just get rid of it right now. Let me give you some examples of things that you could easily cut. Look ahead to some evening in the next week and decide that that evening you're not going to make dinner. You're going to order food, or the night before you're just going to make double of everything and you're going to eat leftovers. Bam! You've just saved yourself an evening of cooking. Or something you could do, maybe Saturday afternoon you had planned to give your bathroom a good deep clean. That's fine, you can still clean it, but maybe do a quick clean rather than a deep clean. And again, you have just opened up some free time for yourself. Or listen, maybe you're not sure how your week is going to pan out. Maybe you're just constantly trying to catch up, you're chasing your tail, you're putting out fires. You don't really know how the week is going to go. You just know that it's going to be busy. That's fine. But again, decide what it is you want to do and then schedule it. Decide on the time, so like Saturday at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, this is what I am going to be doing. Treat it like a doctor's appointment. Like you wouldn't make a doctor's appointment and then just not show up to it. So don't not show up for yourself. I'm going to give you some tough love here, because more time is not going to just magically fall into your lap. You have to take control of that. You have to make the decision. You have to make the commitment. Make that unbreakable date with yourself. Okay, so you've cut something out and you've made that one unbreakable date. Now, why don't we just go ahead, make some more dates? Very often, we tell ourselves that we're too busy. We can't do that. We've got too much going on. We can't enjoy this because we've got responsibilities. Too many people rely on us. We have a list as long as our arm. But then we innocently open up social media or we watch a TV show, and before we know it, an hour has gone by and we're like, how did that happen? Where did that time go? Happens to me all the time. So earlier this year, I set app limits on my phone. I think most modern phones have the ability to do this, where you can set a time that you want to spend on a particular app. And then when you hit that time limit, a notification will pop up and tell you, hey, that's your lot for today. Now, obviously you can choose to override it if you wish, but I find for me, it's kind of the wake-up call that I need. What I find happens is, let's say I have a time limit of an hour on Instagram, and I wake up in the morning and I'm kind of scrolling and, I just lose track of time, and then the notification comes up. I'm like, I didn't even realize that I had spent that long on it. And that can be the kick that I need to close it down and move on with my day. It's just something that is going to take you out of that TikTok trance. Yes, it is going to be better if you can just delete the apps completely. I did this earlier in the year with Facebook and Twitter. game changer for me, but that might not be possible for everyone, or maybe you want to build up to that stage, or you're just not quite ready. So the next best thing is to set those time limits on the apps that you are keeping. Also then, just switch off notifications. Not only do you not need to immediately know when someone has liked your post, but it's also incredibly distracting and will suck a lot of time out of your day, time that you could be giving to yourself in a more meaningful way. I know you think like, oh, it only takes a minute to check it, but then while you're there, you check other notifications. That takes you a few minutes. Then you're like, well, I'll check and see if there are any updates in my timeline. That takes you another few minutes. And you're thinking, I wonder if I have any new emails. That's another few minutes gone. Then you spend even more minutes trying to get back on track and remember where you were with the task that you were supposed to be doing. Just switch them off and schedule certain times that you are going to allow yourself to check them. And that way they're not just constantly jumping in and derailing your day, but you have set times. You're not missing out on anything, but they're not just hopping in and interrupting you all the time. You want to make it a conscious decision, not a distraction. Another great way to stop yourself getting sucked into things is to turn off autoplay. This saved me so much time on Facebook, because while I was scrolling, a video would just autoplay and it would catch my attention, because that's what videos do. That's what they're designed to do. That's what advertisers are paid a lot of money to do, and marketers and all those types of things. They're designed to catch your eye and suck you in. So go into your settings and switch off autoplay. You can do it on YouTube as well, so that the next video doesn't automatically play. You can also do it on Netflix, because how many times has that sucked you in, where you finish up an episode and they're very clever, like the next one plays almost immediately, and it only takes you a few seconds to be hooked into that next show, and then before you know it, another hour has gone. So figure out how to do it. A quick Google would sort you out, but it is there in the settings. Switch off autoplay, and then batch your tasks. And by the way, if you are really serious about this and you want to know how you can free up an hour every single day for yourself, then my course, The Productivity Power Up, is going to tell you exactly how to do that. Honestly, this video, tip of the iceberg. I will leave the details in the description. But with batching, you get a lot more done in a shorter amount of time. And the reason that is because you are reducing the setup and tear down time. You are building momentum and motivation, and you're allowing yourself to get in the zone. Let me give you an example. Okay, so let's say you prepare a meal for yourself every evening, but the bulk of that time is actually spent setting up. It's taking out all of your pots and pans, taking out all of your utensils, knives, chopping boards, all of those types of things. And then afterwards, it's the cleanup, right? Whereas if you can make multiple meals, like 2, 3, 4, even for the whole week, you are saving yourself from doing all of that, taking everything out, washing it every day. You do it one time and you're good. And building momentum then. You know, when you first start a task, sometimes it can just take you a while to get into it. But after a certain amount of time, suddenly you find your groove and you can just plow through it so much quicker. That's what batching allows you to do. If you just do one small task, by the time you're kind of finding your feet, you're moving on to the next task. Instead, if you batch them and do as many as you can together, you will find that you will be able to get through it so much quicker, because you will find that groove and you can keep going and plow through more and more, faster and faster. Now again, while you're doing this, while you're freeing up all this extra time for yourself, be intentional with how you intend to use it. There is no point in, breaking a Netflix binge to turn around and scroll your phone for an hour. That is where being really specific, like we talked about, will come in very handy, and making sure that you schedule it so that you know at a certain time you should be doing this thing. Putting your feet up, opening a book, whatever. Now this next one is probably going to bring you out in a cold sweat, and that is delegating. I know it sounds really official and really bossy, but it can be just something as simple as saying, hey, can you bring out the bins tonight? Or, hey, from now on, every Saturday, can you wash the bedclothes? And then on Sunday, I will take care of the towels and the other clothes, like normal clothes. That's an actual example from my life. My husband now, every Saturday, he will wash and change all the bedclothes, and then Sunday, I do the towels and normal clothes. It could even be, hey, local supermarket, can you deliver my shopping to me instead of having me go there, look around and come back? There is a whole module dedicated to delegating in my course. I basically talk about how to get as much buy-in from other people and other services as you can, because look, you do not have to do everything yourself. There are other people who can help. There are other services who can step in and make something easier for you. You know, I'm at a stage in my life where I'm no longer willing to play the martyr. I'm no longer willing to do everything or try to do everything because I think I can do a better job. In the meantime, all I'm actually doing is building up resentment and bringing myself to the point of burnout. Listen, when I'm on my deathbed, there is no way that I'm going to be lying there thinking, oh, if only I had rejected or refused everyone else's help and done every single thing myself. It's just not gonna happen. And maybe you're thinking, yeah, that's great, but nobody actually wants to help me. Like, I have to do it because no one else will do it. Again, I cover that in the course, but you are not going to be on your deathbed thinking, so glad I wasn't more assertive and more solutions focused. So glad that I just kept on going and took care of everyone else's wants and everyone else's needs. Maybe that sounds a little bit harsh, but again, it's the tough love, because I know that you deserve so much more than a leftover life. I've talked about this before. You deserve so much more than the time that's left over after everything else is done and after all the rooms have been cleaned and the errands have been run. That time is never going to magically appear for you. There will always be something else to do. There will always be another problem to face. It's like, you know, really wanting to buy something. You know, you're saving up for something, a holiday, a nice winter coat, something like that, a brand new laptop. You save up for it, payday comes, you go to a store and you think to yourself, right, I'm just gonna buy some things that I want and I'll save whatever's left over after I'm done. Like, no, that's not the way it works. You have to do the saving first. You set aside your money or your time and then you manage the rest. Schedule your stuff first, your unbreakable date, and then fit everything else around that. Let that be your foundation. And the Productivity Power Up course will teach you exactly, step by step, how to build that foundation so that you can free up more time than ever before. Now, you could stand there and say that you're too busy, or you could go searching for tiny little blocks of time that you could squeeze some self-care into, or you could just go with cold, hard facts. Here I am talking about time tracking. You definitely do not have to track every minute of your day, but maybe every hour you stop and you just jot down what you did that hour. Now, you might be inclined to think, oh, I'll just jot down what a typical day looks like for me. But no, it should be pretty clear by now that we have a tendency to get sucked into things and not even realize how much time is passing. So be realistic with yourself. Do it on an actual day. Write down what you are actually doing. How many interruptions were there? How many times were you distracted? For how long were you distracted? What was distracting you? How long did it take you to get back on track? Paint up a realistic picture of where your time is going. And you can also look at, again, most phones will have the screen time thing. It's terrifying when you look and see how much time you are actually spending. You know, I didn't think that I spent that long on my phone, but again, facts don't lie. So look at where your time is going, actually going, and then again, get serious with yourself and start cutting things out, or at least limiting them. And yes, it's hard, but ask yourself, is this thing more important to me than my hobby or my pastime or that self-care activity that I want to indulge in? Is it more important to me than spending meaningful time with myself or my loved ones? Again, if you are ready to claim back at least an hour for yourself every single day, check out the Productivity Power Up. All the details are in the description. Go raibh míle maith agaibh, agus feicim méid sibh go luath. Slán!